All right, well, we're talking about steps. We're continuing our series on steps, and today, specifically, we're talking about recommitments. How many of you guys usually remember your dreams when you wake up? How many of you guys? See, probably only about like a third of you, maybe even a fourth of you. Through different stages of my life, I remember dreams more. As a kid, I remember having very vivid dreams, but then as a college student, I remember having like no dreams. Like, I just didn't dream. Maybe it was stress-induced, I don't know, but have you ever had like one of those weird dreams where like you have like a really weird idea in your dream and you're like, I need to write this down. And so you wake up in the middle of the night and you like write it down. Anybody done that before? Just me and Adelita, cool. But sometimes dreams, when we're in them, they make so much sense, they seem so real, and then when we wake up, we kind of forget, and they don't mean as much. You can even have like a really scary dream, and then you try to explain it to somebody later in the day, and you're like, that actually was kind of dumb. I don't know why I was scared of that. So I think we've all experienced that. This is what happens to dreams when we don't put steps to work them out. When we don't actually take the dreams and make them a reality. We can forget our dreams if we don't take steps to act. And this is just a rule for life. We can have all these ideas of all the stuff that we want to do, but unless we actually put the steps together to get it done, we're not going to get it done. And so really that's kind of what this whole series is about. It's about those steps that you take. Last week we talked about how you need to redirect your steps when you're going in the wrong way, when you find yourself on the wrong path. But this week, we're going to take a step back to look at the big picture. Like, why do we take steps in the first place? What desires, dreams, and goals do you have that motivate you to take steps in a certain direction? And today, we're going to see specifically that commitment requires recommitment. Commitment requires recommitment. Here's what I mean by that. You're going to go through life, you're going to have goals, you're going to have dreams, and you're going to be going that way. You're committed, but every now and then you need to recommit. You need to redirect your thoughts. You need to focus on what you're supposed to focus on. So how do we do that? There's a couple things we'll talk about. So big thing is that we need to answer the why. Why are you taking those steps? Why are you pursuing dreams in acting or singing or in sports? Why are you doing that? Are you doing it for you? Are you doing it for your own glory? Are you doing it for others? Like, these are questions we need to answer. Because there are some professionals out there that have moral failures and crash and burn because they have not answered this question. You ever wonder why, like, child actors and child stars always end up going crazy, like in their early 20s? It's because they never really answered this question. They just have talent and they ride the train. So think about some of the steps that you've taken in your life. When I think of some of my favorite steps, I do think back to college. I think of the steps that I took to graduate, or even in high school, the steps that I took to graduate. Both times they mispronounced my name. That's not the part that I remember, even though I do bring it up every single time. Because, I mean, how do you mispronounce it when I spell it phonetically on there? Just make sure that you, like, talk to the person saying your name. But college graduation, those steps, I remember those. I remember walking down the aisle, like getting ready for my wife to walk down the aisle when we were getting married. Walking through the door of my first house, realizing this is mine. My daughter's first steps. Like, those are some of the best moments, and those are all steps. These are all moments that we share with others. So for me, the steps that I take are always shared with other people. I think steps should be with other people. Your steps aren't just for you, they're for others. So we need to recommit to the why. Recommit. Every time that life seems confusing, we have to remind ourselves of what this why is and recommit to why we started in the first place. So always remember why you started. And that comes real in handy when we're talking about goals. Goals are the things that we set out for ourselves. There could be short-term goals or long-term goals. It could be, I want to go to a certain college, or I want to get a certain career. And so you have that goal, but you really don't know, like, the steps that it takes to get there. This is what makes us take the steps, is having goals. If you ever feel like you're just not moving in life, you're just standing still, it's probably because you're not pushing yourself to have goals. We're all supposed to have some kind of goal. But it takes steps to get there. Dave Ramsey actually said a goal without a plan is just a dream. It's never going to happen. So you have to put the steps in there. And there's actually 5 different ways that you can remember to have SMART goals, and it's the acronym SMART. So S stands for specific. Your goals should be specific. It can't just be some kind of like random thought. You should really think about the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why. And so when you sit down, maybe later in your high school years to think about college, or even when you're in college to think about your life later, like think of goals as very specific things, not things that you're like, oh, someday it'd be nice to do this. Like, be specific. Also, you want it to be measurable. Measurable helps us understand like when we've actually accomplished the goal. So the next one, measurable, M, we have to know. Like maybe you want to eat certain calories to get to a certain weight. Like those are numbers, those are all measurable. You know when you've reached your goal. So goals should be specific and measurable. They should also be achievable. Is it important enough and realistic enough for you to achieve it? Like, I think it should probably scare you a little bit, and you should ask yourself, like, can I really do this goal? But it also should be a little bit realistic, too. You have to find that balance. So dream big enough to scare yourself, but also see what's possible with the resources that you have. So right now, like, I don't have the resources to become an astronaut. I don't have those resources because I don't know a lot about science, and I know very little about outer space besides 2001: A Space Odyssey and some other science fiction films that I've seen. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant. We have to make goals that are relevant. You have to make sure your goal matches the person you want to be in the future. So that's a really easy way for us to see how we will achieve these goals, because the real question is, who do you want to be? Any goal should help you be the person that you want to be more. Every time you achieve a goal, you're taking one step towards that person. And so never forget that person. Like, envision yourself in 5 years. Envision yourself in 10 years. Ask, what's relevant? You know, for me in high school, I took media productions because I loved making like movies, and I loved graphics and stuff like that. And then I also took theater because I like standing up in front of people and performing. And it really prepared me for what I do today. Like, I communicate on a stage to people all the time. And I knew that in high school that I wanted to do that, so that's why I did it. I made it relevant for me. And then lastly, time-bound. We can't say, oh, maybe sometime in the next 50 years I want to do this. Like, time-bound, you have to set a time limit. For whatever reason, I can clean better when I know that somebody is coming to my house in 30 minutes. Like, if I just had like a whole day off to clean, I'm probably not going to clean as much as I'm like, oh, somebody's coming over, I got to clean. And I can get so much done. I don't know, like, time just stops. Maybe I have a secret power that I don't know about. But all in all, when we look at these, we have to think smart when we think about our goals. So recommit to making your dreams a reality. Don't let them just be dreams. Like Shia LaBeouf said, don't let your dreams be dreams. He's a smart man in some respects. Recommit to making your dreams a reality. And then finally, let's look at our pursuits. These are the avenues that we live on. These are the roads. Like, this is like your path. People are going to try to distract you from your goals. People are going to try to take away your dreams. But as long as you envision yourself on this pursuit, on this path, that's how you get there. These need to be in line with your dreams. A lot of us find ourselves on roads that we never thought that we would end up on. It's because we didn't really have the goals to get there. We just kind of ended up there. You don't want to wander through life without a direction, without a path. My wife and I actually went to New York City in November. I was just talking to Annie and some of the other girls that, like, we actually got to go on the Jimmy Fallon show, and it was awesome. But where we were in New York City, we had to take a bunch of subways different directions. And if you don't know, like, how the subway system works, you can get lost pretty quickly. So getting on a subway in New York City without knowing where you want to go and how to get there is not a good idea. But it is a great way to see really weird people on the subway. So you're going to waste a lot of time, money, and end up lost if you don't know how to get there. I had to actually use my GPS on my phone, and it worked really well with the transit system. We never got lost in New York because I always knew what I needed to go, or where I needed to go, and how to get there. So recommit in order to stay on track. We just need to recommit. We need to shift our focus and recommit to those things. So again, commitment requires Recommitment. We always have to recommit. Anytime it gets a little bit out of line, we have to recommit. So this is your North Star, your compass, your anchor. Answer your why, remember your goal, and pursue your dreams. Peace out.